Graham Shaw, thanks very much for speaking to us so soon after this World Cup final performance from your team. It's a performance that I suppose it's really hard to criticise in the aftermath because there was so much going against you. You had possibly one of the best hockey attacking teams ever to play the game. The heat out there was intense. You had 24 hours to prepare after the biggest win of this team's career. So, as I said, it is hard to kind of find fault in that performance.
Yeah, listen, we're obviously going to be disappointed. We're winners and we want to win games, but they're so far ahead of everybody in the world right now. It's actually quite scary, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, we watched them against England, and I think England had 2 shots in goal against them. That's world number 2. You know, we had the same amount of shots in goal as England did. I mean, they are an outstanding outfit. I mean, they have 4 previous World Players of the Year. They have Olympic gold medalists, Olympic silver medalists, European worlds. I mean, they're incredible players, and I'm just hoping that people at home now really see how the game should be played, because the speed, the connections, the athleticism those girls have it's a joy to watch. Not obviously a joy when you're getting beaten, but you got to tip your hat to them. They're truly a remarkable side.
I know you probably don't want to criticise the organisers, but is it a bit strange to have just 24 hours to prepare for a World Cup final?
It's actually not strange in our sport, so it's not something that I can really give out about. It's quite normal in our sport. Actually, this tournament has been quite unusual with all the rest days in between, although we were very grateful for them, because it actually we're quite good when you come up against us in one-off games, hence we're sitting in the final. So it was a difficult task. I mean, we 24 hours to prepare from. It's one side that we hadn't really looked in detail. It's another team we haven't played them in a long time. And sometimes you need to play them a few times to learn a little bit about them, a few little traits that they have within the team, individually, collectively. And that was obviously going to be difficult. And didn't start well. That was the key. I think we needed to start well, hold them in the first quarter, frustrate them a little bit. Because actually, when we were on the ball in the first quarter, it wasn't too bad. It was just they just interchanged so much, vertically, horizontally. They're just impossible to track, and you find like you're playing against 13 players sometimes. You really are, and our girls scrambled. But listen, it was always going to be a big ask today, and I think everyone knew that.
How did you keep the players motivated at half time? Because you conceded those 5 goals, but then you go out in the third quarter, concede just once, and keep a clean sheet then in the final quarter. So how did you get the players to kind of keep going and to not give up on themselves?
Well, we just spoke to them and said, you've been so brave and so committed, and in every game you've played, you defended like warriors, and you need to do that again. We weren't happy at half time, and the girls were disappointed with themselves. So sometimes, you just got to go out and do the basics right. You got to dig deep. You got to stay a little bit more disciplined, a little bit more structured. And when they're moving around so much, it's quite difficult to catch them and pick them up. We changed a few things structurally, just to see if we could just stop their strength through the middle of the field. But listen, no matter what you do, they're gonna run ragged. They play a whole different brand of hockey that anyone will ever see in Ireland, and I hope that we can learn from it and grow. Because if we can't learn from this tournament and playing in front of these crowds, we will definitely learn, and we will grow, and we will develop as a team now. And I'm really excited now for the future.
Do you think you can close that gap with, I suppose, the resources that you have and the time that you have together?
It's difficult. It is a very difficult challenge. The teams we play against spend 3, 4, 5, 6 days a week training together. We would meet up maybe once a week or once every 2 to 3 weeks. So it's a difficult challenge, and we definitely need to address that when we get home. We need to somehow provide the resources and look at how we can get these girls to spend more time together and train together a little bit more regularly. So can we close the gap on a country like Netherlands? Not a chance with the resources we are. Can we close the gap on other nations? Yes, we can. But I definitely think now the sport needs to change. We definitely need to look and see how we can and clever. We need to be quite creative in how we can do this. But I'm not saying we need millions of investment. That's not what we need, because we're after achieving a silver medal without it. It's not about money necessarily. It's about just being creative, looking at different opportunities where maybe we can allow these girls to train a little bit more full time.
Yeah, because I did see a lot of people, mainly social media, so I don't know how seriously you can take the opinions, but you're saying that the government had withdrawn funding over the last couple of years, that kind of thing. Is it as easy as just throwing money at the is that as simple a fix as that, or what else do you need really? What assistance can you get realistically that can help this team progress?
Well, I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities, maybe even for where girls can maybe get picked up by maybe companies, and they can support them a little bit as well. I mean, we've got very, very intelligent women here. They're very driven and motivated and very dedicated girls. So, you know, looking at maybe companies getting involved in their industry, where maybe they can work a little bit and then train a little bit more full time. That's an idea that we have, is a bit of creative idea. I think the government definitely needs to look at maybe giving us a home now. I mean, we don't have a pitch. I mean, we hired 5-6 different pitches, I think, in the build up for this tournament, and that means you're playing on different pitches week in, week out, and that's not the right preparation. The teams here, you know, prepare on the same pitch that's being played here. We're using different types of AstroTurf in different locations around the country, and we're also paying for them. And it's a difficult one when you're trying to compete then. But I don't want this thing to be about funding, because I just think that what the girls have achieved can't be about funding. But yes, we need to put things in place for the future. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, let's finish on that high note, because, you know, although there is the disappointment of losing the final today, Graham, what this team has achieved has been immense. The whole country, I don't know if you're aware, has gone hockey mad back home. People who wouldn't normally be supporting hockey are going hockey crazy back there. The players' names are all household names now, Aisha McFerrin especially. How important is it that they get to celebrate this achievement and really enjoy what they've done here in London?
Well, first of all, I think it's incredible for women in sport. I mean, we need role models, and female role models that our young girls can aspire to be, and that is a huge thing. And I'm delighted that, I mean, I've stayed off social media to a certain extent, so I don't really know exactly the hype back home, but I'm delighted that they're getting the recognition and they are becoming household names. We need young girls to look up at our female athletes. We have some incredible athletes, but mainly in individual sports that are household names. I know obviously there's one or two in team sports. So hopefully this will change, and we'll have young girls now at home aspiring to be these players, because that's how we build sports programs, that's how we build sports teams, and the more and more role models we have, the better our teams will be and the better the future will be.
I hope you get to celebrate tonight as well, Graham. Thanks very much for your time.
Thank you very much, appreciate it.
Thanks, Frank.